Alright, gang, welcome back to our playthrough on Agro. It's now December, it's 10:30, a little bit later on the day, but it is the winter months, which means the sun does not come up as early as it normally would. We're still in the process of harvesting up this field, and we're doing alright. We're getting along here pretty well, but still a lot to do. I'm getting ready to unload the harvester here again. We're going to try to unload it on the fly here. I also brought which I guess it's not really in view yet, but I brought the drill over here as well, so we're ready to kind of start drilling here soon enough. But we need to get a little bit more of this harvested rally before we really, there it is, before we really start to consider that, right? So, but how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. I want to throw a quick thank you in. I think by the time of this recording, I should be at 1,000 subscribers on my other channel. So if you were one of the ones that jumped over there and gave me a subscription or a follow, I truly appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you so very, very, very much. It means the world to me, man. Today, we're going to continue getting this thing harvested, like I said, and then we're going to drill it. And I think we're going to put, I haven't fully decided on it yet, but I think we're going to put wheat in. The reason why we're going to put wheat in is I'm going to try that used production we bought when we bought this field from the guy. We got a used production. I'm sorry. Used production. We got a used piece of equipment that supposedly picks up straw right off the ground and turns it into straw pellets. I've never used it before. I really don't know exactly how it works, if I'm honest with you. So I may have to get something else for it. I don't know, but I feel like it should work just by picking it up off the ground. We'll let that continue on, and I'll show you. It's this miscellaneous item here, the straw harvest from the straw harvest pack mod. Machine can pelletize straw and hay right on the field. Attached to the concept bale shredder, it can also be used as stationary. It can be used stationary, excuse me. So I think, you know, just by doing that directly, it should be able to, like it says, pick it up directly and turn it into pellets. So we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. And other than that, the other thing we have to accomplish today, we've got to spray our big, massive field. Oh, over here. This one. Not that one. This one. We've got to put the second application of fertilizer down on that field. So those are the things really we need to try to accomplish today if we can do so. Really, we have to get this field harvested today. I don't want to wait another month for this field to be fully done. And if we can at least get started with the drilling on this field, if not finish it, but if we can at least get started on it, I'll be pretty happy. We can obviously finish the drilling, or the worker can finish the drilling between now and the next episode, or however I decide to do it. Because we're not really focused on money right now, obviously, in this series. We've got enough money in general, so I'm not too focused on it, especially now that we kind of delayed what is it called? Silver Run 4, Silver Run, whatever it is. Silverwood. I always get that name wrong every single time. But in any case, since we kind of delayed that one, we're not really going to need even as much money as we already have. So, not too bad. Now, one thing I do not know, I do not remember, I guess I should say, is when it's best to sell things. We have two things in here. Specifically, we have corn and we have sorghum. It is December, but I don't remember if there's anything best to sell in December. Actually, sorghum is. So we'll probably be selling the sorghum today. Yeah. The corn jumps up today, but really it's January. January or February. So we'll keep an eye on the sorghum here. It's best in December. It's still going up. So we'll keep an eye on it. We might, well, not even might. We'll probably sell all of it towards the end of the episode, right? Whenever we get to that point. Or whenever the price starts to drop. Either or. Whichever comes first. Likely the price drops first, I would think. That's if the price drops at all. It may not drop at all until next month. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right? It's just case-by-case situation. So I'm going to bring this back over here in preparation, and we'll probably, depending on where the actual harvester is, we'll probably unload it again. And then we can start at least beginning the spraying. And what we'll likely do is kind of do the first pass of the spraying. And then I'll likely just throw that on a worker for a good portion, and we'll come back over here to working on this field. We've got to fertilize it, and we've got to herbicide spray it, so there's a lot to do over there. Yep, second application is needed for sure through the whole field, so. Yeah, so the worker's almost back up here to the top, so once he gets up to the top, we'll let him turn around, we'll unload what he has, so that way he can keep on going. That's the only problem with this harvester is it seems, well, either we're getting really good yields, which is awesome, or the hopper, the storage inside the actual harvester itself is not very big, so it gets full quickly. As you can see, it's pretty full already, so I guess that's one of the only negatives to it. Also, probably that we, you know, expanded the header too. That probably helps fill it up a lot faster that way as well, so. Now, the worker's probably going to get a little confused at one point, wherever it is, and they're not going to get all the way up and down because we've got that tree or that tree island in the middle there, which makes it a little bit confusing and a little awkward for the workers. But that's okay. Whatever the worker ends up getting done, we can obviously just move the worker back to where they need to be after they're done with that section, right? I mean, look, it's we're already insanely amount full in the actual trailer already, so that tells you all you need to know. All right, so I've already got this loaded up with herbicide, so we got to get this sprayed and then fertilized, like I said. So there's a lot to do. Ooh, we don't want that one. We want that one. Let's restart here. Well, spraying, man, I love spraying. Don't know why, I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do in this game. And everybody else that I watch, for the most part, no, not everybody, but a lot of everybody else that I watch, they always talk about how they hate it so much. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it. I could do spraying all the time. That's why typically, whenever we're doing some kind of a challenge that actually involves or allows you to do contracts of any kind, I'm all for picking up any of the fertilizing contracts or even the spraying contracts. So long as we're using our own stuff, I should say. I don't like it when I have to do a contract and I have to utilize their own equipment, because that's just an automatic good chunk of loss that we could be making otherwise, right? But I think you get what I mean. Now, this is going to take a while. This headland pass is going to take us an eternity to do by itself. We probably are going to have to fill this up a number of times, because this field is truly a behemoth of a field. But I guess we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see how long it takes us to do. Now, I've mentioned it a number of times. I'm just going to kind of mention it a few more times, pretty much in every series leading up to this point here. I'm getting ready. Let's see. This will come out, I guess, a week from the day that this comes out. Is that right? Is it a week from the day that this comes out? I think that's right. If it's not, it's going to be close, whatever it is. A week from the day, or it might just be past it, one of the two. But either way, I will be out of the country. I will not have access at all to any internet whatsoever, unless I happen to be in the hotel or the Airbnb or wherever it is we're staying at. So my replies to you in the comments may be a little bit slower than normal. Normally, I reply to you within 24 hours at the most, sometimes much faster than that. This one may not be as fast. So I want to apologize ahead of time, early on for you, just in case it happens to be that case where it takes me a day or two to get back to you. I promise I'm not ignoring you or anything like that. I try to answer everybody's replies. I love interacting with you all in the comments, so I try to answer everyone that I can, but when I'm out of the country and I won't have international roaming at all, it's going to be a little difficult, I think. But we'll see what I can get, or rather what I can find, I guess. As far as internet goes, and if I have the time to do it, I will certainly do it, but I likely will be not on my phone a whole lot unless I'm taking pictures, because I'm going to be over in Europe, so pretty far away from America. Then, when I get back, I've talked about this a number of times, when I get back, I'll have a couple of weeks, I guess, and then FS22 comes out, and I'm right back out of the country, but this time I'm just going to Canada, so it's going to be a busy October and November for me, I guess is how I'm going to put it. And realistically, if we're honest, a busy January coming up, too. But that's pretty far in the future, so. The January one won't be too bad. There will be, I mean, I'll be in other places for work. I'll be in Tennessee for work for a brief period of time as well, among other places, during that January month, and but it'll all be United States, so I'll have access to my phone. I may not be able to answer, until, at night or whatever after the work stuff's done, but nevertheless, I will at least be able to answer you then. But I'm going a little on a tangent here, so let's get back to this field here. So we're going to continue on here. The other field. The harvester is full, so we need to jump back over to the other field, as I was trying to say. I just didn't say it properly. And get this thing unloaded here, so we can keep the worker going. And then we have got to finish that spraying, right? It's going to take a while, but we'll probably do a good chunk of the spraying on a time lapse here in just a second once we get everything set up, and then we'll probably take over for the worker doing the harvesting here and probably finish it up as well. Once we kind of get the headland pass sorted out and feel like the worker's in a good spot to do the rest of the spraying for us, at least the herbicide spraying. We'll still have to fertilize spray it at some point later on in the episode. All right, gang, so things are going well. We've begun our initial headland pass here of the wheat field that we're turning it into a wheat field, I should say. I believe the worker's pretty close to finishing the herbicide spraying of the big field, so we're going to need to flip that over to liquid fertilizer here very shortly. But yeah, we got a lot done there in that little time lapse. This field's nearly done. There are still quite a few passes left, but it's not a full, pass, I guess. It's a much smaller length that the harvester has to go before he turns around, I guess is what I should say. But nevertheless, we are making some good progress here. So yeah, wheat is what I decided to go with. It'll produce the straw, which we can utilize to try our little piece of equipment, or used production as I called it earlier, to make some straw pellets. And see how that goes, because I've never done, well, not really. I just earned some rewards points. How did I just earn rewards points? It's just random. I'm just driving the tractor. I guess we got rewards for playing Farming Simulator? I don't know. That was weird. Anyway, okay. What was I doing? What was I talking about? I think I was just talking about the progress we made and how we're doing a pretty good job here. That's truth. And we're going to continue here. We're going to continue with the drill here. The worker's 50% full, it looks like. So when he turns around here, we'll probably go ahead and start unloading him. That way he can continue on without having to stop. So he's turning around right now. So when we get down here to the end, I'll just kind of pick this up for a second and let it sit there. But we're getting a lot of corn out of this field. This is good. This is going to make us a ton of money. Again, not that we need it, but still, nonetheless, tons of money. And I believe this is episode 6. Now I'm questioning if that's the right episode or not. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's episode 6. I thought I was right. So it's episode 6. I don't know how long this series will go. We talked about that, right? I wanted to do at least a couple harvests here. We're just now finishing the actual fields that we actually, purchased at the beginning. Well, it came with the purchase that we made, right? So we haven't even harvested anything that we've actually planted in the ground. So obviously it's going to have to go for, I don't know, at least another 4 or 5, I would think, right? So maybe if we get around 12 or something like that, that's probably good, and then we can jump to Silver Run or Silverwood Forest, whatever. Maybe that's the approach. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, whenever we do jump to Silver Run Forest, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. I am going to fully admit to you right now, I am terrible utilizing the big, massive forestry equipment. I'm really bad at cutting down the trees, spinning them sideways, chopping them up, and then actually getting them in a location where I can easily pick them up. I'm terrible at that. So I don't know, given the fact that we aren't able to do that many episodes, well, we could, but given the fact that we don't really have that much time to do that many episodes, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe not even utilizing that and maybe going a different route, maybe going a super unrealistic route, something I've never done before. I know everybody else has kind of used it at some point. When I say everybody else, I'm talking about the normal crew of us that always do, well, we don't always all do the exact same challenges, but we intertwine with each other doing different challenges together. I know some of them have used the little, it's like a box. It's like a shipping container, like a tiny shipping container where if you knock down trees, it'll pick up all those trees for you pretty easily, right? So we probably will utilize something like that, I think, just to help speed up that process. And maybe if we do that approach, maybe we have a very tiny chance of trying to even attempt to try the roller coaster. I still don't think it's going to work, but... And what I mean by work is, I don't think we're going to have enough time, but that would be the only way I can think of that we would even have a slight chance to do so. Basically, you chop down a tree with an axe, chainsaw, whatever, and you just stick that next to it, and it picks them up and automatically stores it in that little box for you. So then you can distribute them or move them wherever you want to move them to, and you don't have to sit there and go through the whole process of picking them up with forks or with a winch or whatever, right? There is a lot here that the worker missed, so this worker is nowhere near to be done. So we'll go ahead and put it back on the worker doing this. We might have to do that a few times, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll have to think about it, I guess, a little bit more, how we're going to run that series. I don't know. I really don't know. We might not even have enough time to even do that map, honestly, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, I think it's all right. I think it's all right if we don't end up doing it. A lot of people have done that map. It is a fun map. It's a cool map. The roller coaster really has a lot of draw for a lot of people, right? But I mean, realistically, we don't have enough time for 5 or 6 more episodes in this, and then doing another 5 to 6 episodes in that. We just don't. It's already October. We simply do not have enough time for it. So, yeah, I guess I'll figure it out when I get to that point. Whenever we end in this series, whenever it is. If there's only like a week or something, you know, maybe we just scratch the idea altogether. Like I said, maybe we just don't even do it. But we'll see. I mean, I can always come back to it in the future, right? I own this game, so I can always come back to it in the future. It's not like I don't have it. It just means I would be going back and playing an older Farming Simulator game rather than the new one. So, but I mean, that could be happening in the future, right? I talked about it a while ago, about how I was wondering if anybody would be interested in seeing a little mini-series of going back and playing through all the different Farming Simulators. You know, just a quick, 5-6 episode per, maybe 10 episodes at most, right? Per game, and then just kind of put it all together in like a series, right? Put it all together in like a playlist series that revisiting old Farming Simulator games or something like that. I don't know. Just random ideas that come through my head when I'm trying to think of new things, new challenges. Because mostly, this actual channel specifically got built based off of doing challenges. I love doing challenges in this game more than I do anything else. But I wanted to play through, the campaign, and that's the reason why we have this series. But I just put a little bit of a spin on it with, starting out with pretty much no money, and then, well, we had some money, but you get what I mean. Starting out with a small amount of money, and then as we continue to move from map to map, we sell stuff, make the money off of it, and then take that to the next map, and hopefully, as you see now, we'll be at a point where we're utilizing very, very big equipment, which we are. But anyway, I digress from the point here. We'll have to end up seeing how long this series actually ends up taking and where we are in regard to Silver Run. That's the high level. That's the summary of what I just said, that rant I just went on. Okay, so we've got the headland pass done here. So what I'm going to do is put this on a worker. We're just going to let the worker do their thing here. We should easily be able to get the rest of this field done before the worker catches up to us at this point. There's not much left over there. A couple little tiny passes and we're done. So I'm actually going to put the worker starting down here. They're going to probably have issues. We already know that. They always do. But I'm going to start the worker down here in this corner and just have them run this way until I guess they run out of seed, right? Because they normally run out of seed before the fertilizer. Because there's more fertilizer storage than there is seed storage. Which I always thought was kind of a weird thing, Rick, right? Why wouldn't you have the exact same amount? I mean, I guess one of them gets used up faster than the other one. I don't know. But still, it just seems weird to me that you would have an offset amount for each of them. It has to be, I guess, the amounts that they utilize. But still, you would think there'd be a better way to do it where it's going to be pretty even, right? They're both going to run out at the same time or around the same time, rather than one running out and the other one still has like 40% left in it. I think that's typically what happens. Alright, so we are done. We didn't have to do anything. The worker took care of all of it for us, so let's go ahead and unload this. While this is unloading, we'll take a look at the prices for the sorghum here and see if they're still going up. I assume they are. Well, one of them is dropping. It is not the most... well, actually, it is the most expensive one, so it's time to sell it. Which is perfect, right? This is a perfect lead into it. We've got a lot still to do here. This worker's still going strong here. Are they going to have more to do over there, or is that done? I think this might be done, actually. We'll leave the worker be. So when this is done unloading, we can go ahead and put this away quickly. We'll go ahead and do it now. We'll dump the corn into the silo. And then we're going to start carting the sorghum back and forth to the sell point. Now, I don't know where that specific sell point is. I feel like it's the one we've been selling the stuff at before, but I could be wrong. Let's actually, you know what? I need to fold all this stuff up. I forgot to fold everything up. Good enough. Alright, let's take this, unload this, and we'll start dropping the sorghum in here. And then once we're done kind of carting the sorghums over to sell those, we'll bring back the sprayer and fill it up with the liquid fertilizer, and then we'll do a headland pass of the liquid fertilizer, and then let the worker continue on, right? So let me get this trailer load unloaded and then filled up with sorghum, and then we'll see about where we're going here to sell it. Alright, so we're going to have 3 trips here with the sorghum, gang. It's going to be a lot. Where we're going is in a similar location, but it's not the exact place we sold it at last time, so we're going to have to kind of figure out where we're going here. I'm going to go around this road here, even if it's not the right way. We're going to drive around this road. Hopefully I can get in down here. If I can't, well, I'll just have to do a jump cut back into that way, but I would hope I'd be able to get into it. It's so far back here in comparison to this area. There's definitely an entryway there, so I'm just going to take it. Even if it's not right, I'm going to take it. Even if you have to come back out. A little dark back here. Let's turn the lights on. Probably should have the beacons on, too. That looks like it was a good decision there, Z. I don't think there's another entryway unless there's one over there. There might be. Oh, you know what? I think that is the way I'm supposed to go. We're gonna get a little off track here. We're gonna go across railroad tracks. Bear with me. A little unrealistic, but we're gonna do it anyway. So evidently I was supposed to go in over there somewhere, because that's a fence just blocking this whole area off here. I really like all these sell points. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like this. It's like a train station area here. This is cool. I like this. Yeah, there's definitely an entry down there. So there we go. Now we know at least. So let's see how much we get out of one trailer load, and then we can kind of figure it out from there, like how much we're going to get. I'm not going to make you suffer watching me drive back and forth to unload these, but, you know, we'll jump cut to the very last bit that we're going to unload. It won't be 3 full trailer loads. $166,000. That's actually not too bad. That's really not. That's really not bad for sorghum. Sorghum is a fast-growing crop, so you don't make as much money off of it. That's not bad. So let me get the other one brought back over here and dumped and unloaded and sold, and then we'll get the third and final trailer load, which will not be a full load, and I'll be back with you when we're unloading that one. So I stand corrected. It was actually 4 trailers worth, but only just that last one, $30,710. As you can see, it was about 18-ish% full, something like that, I think. So wasn't a ton. Couldn't hit the record button fast enough before it was already empty. So there you go. We're over $1 million now. So that's fantastic. Now the worker is still going on drilling the field. They just got a long ways to go. He's not going to be done anytime soon. And we've got to start spraying, well, fertilizing, I guess, liquid fertilizing the field we literally just finished herbicide spraying. So I'm going to get this back to the farm here. We'll get the sprayer back, unload whatever's remaining of the herbicide, fill it up with some liquid herbicide, and I will see you back on the field. Okay, we are underway here, gang. It's going to take us a while, once again, to get around here, but we're making progress. The other worker with the drill, I think they're almost out of seed, if they're not already, so we're going to have to check on them here in just a second, but I would love to get around this headland pass before that occurs, but I think they're going to probably run out before that happens. I was trying to pay attention over the right-hand corner. I could have missed it, but I'm pretty sure that they haven't said anything about being empty yet. But I do know that they're close. So we'll see. What we'll likely end up doing here, gang, is kind of going around the headland here, throwing this back on a worker, and then we'll see where the worker is at on drilling of the field over there with wheat. Maybe do a little bit of that, and then we'll probably call the episode at that point. It's getting, it's not super long, but it's getting up there in time now. So Just trying to keep everything kosher with what the YouTube algorithm prefers and wants. So let's see where they're at. Let's back this up for a second here. 8%. Yeah. So we're definitely not going to be able to get around the whole headland here, but before they run out, I mean. We're not going to be able to get around the whole headland before they run out of seed, but if we get close enough, I'll be happy, right? So let me carry on here, gang. We'll see where we get to, and when it pops up, I'll be back with you. And there it is. There it is. So let's go fill this thing up for the worker. Well, we're going to have to turn a worker back on, I should say, but let's at least go fill this thing back up with some seed and fertilizer for him. Max it out, and then let them carry on here. They're doing a pretty good job. They've got a lot of the field done. They're really, I don't see any, at least up to this point, any major missed bits. There will be when this tree island comes into play, but otherwise, they're doing a pretty solid job, I think, in my eyes. All right, the worker's back going again. So we're going to continue here doing our outside frame or our border or our boundary or our headland pass of spraying. Now, if you happen to still be watching at this point and you didn't watch all the way to the very end yesterday of the Pioneer Challenge, I would recommend you go back and check it out. I ran into an issue on that series, and it's not that series' fault by any means. So I've been working on the Broke to Billionaire Challenge series, right? The Ohio Origin series, and a lot of you have mentioned I should do cookies. Well, I installed a number of cookie productions mods, and when I installed those, I've had no issues with any other map. But when I pull up and load up Alone in the World, it goes to a straight black screen. If I can hit the menu, I can look at the maps in the menu, everything, but the actual screen itself is black. So I put a little bit of a outtake, I guess, if you would call it, at the very end of that. After I did my closing and everything on that series yesterday, I put an outtake of what I experienced and how I went through it and how I proved to you that I can go back out to the menu, go to the Ohio Origin series, pull it up, and it loads up perfectly fine, no problem, no black screen. So something with the Alone in the World map does not like one of those mods. I can't figure out which one it is. I don't know which one it is, to be honest with you. I haven't really spent a whole lot of time looking at it that deeply yet, but one of those cookie mods on ModHub and the Alone in the World map do not play nice together. So I'm going to have to figure out something. If we're going to do cookies, I'm going to have to figure out something for that, because that's not going to work. Either we're going to have to finish the Alone in the World series before I do the cookies, or we're going to have to figure out something else to do with the cookies. Realistically, I can't go back and forth of installing and uninstalling that and remember to do it every single time. So yeah, if you've experienced that or you know what I'm talking about, maybe you can help me out in the comments. I'm going to bring it up again on the Alone in the World Pioneer Challenge when that time comes for the next episode. But since this is the closest one to it, figured I might as well bring it up quickly. Oh, I missed a section there. I thought that was the end there. That power line screwed me up. So once we get down here to the end, I'm throwing this on a worker, and the worker's going to do the rest of their thing here. Kind of hard to see where I've been and where I'm going, but we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Alright, workers doing their thing. This worker is actually doing even better than I thought. I was not expecting them to come all the way down here, and they are. So yeah, I think what we're going to do, gang, is let them continue to carry on, let the workers do their thing here, and we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button. It's free, and it helps me out a ton, and I'll catch you on the next one.